And welcome everybody here to Gateway Christian Warrior Football, where tonight it'll be the semifinals, where it'll be your Gateway Warriors at home against the Dora Coyotes. Played 2-3 weeks ago. Their indoor won 36 to 12 was the final score. I am your play-by-play, Andre Cheatham. I have a special guest in the booth tonight. I will let him introduce himself here in one moment. But we are just a couple of, about a minute away from kickoff. And Coach, go ahead and introduce yourself to the lovely people listening on YouTube.
Andre, it's so great to be here. My name is Tim, and this is a Gateway team I've heard about all year long. They've been blowing everybody out. They have such a great team this year. As far as I'm aware, these guys are the state champion favorites. They're a great team, coached by Coach Wigley, great coach. They bring a great tradition of winning here at Gateway. I think we're in for a great game. This is definitely one of the premier games, especially in southeast New Mexico, but throughout the state tonight.
Of course, and you hit the nail right on the head, and that's going to be Maddox Jennings going to tee the ball off. It's going to be kicked off. It's bouncing around. It's there recovered by the return man. He's going to try to run to the middle, and he's finally going to be corralled there. That's going to be a tackle there. That looked to be number 42. Of course, he's not listed tonight.
And, Andre, that one looked really, really scary. The Warriors do a great job kicking the ball down to the sideline. The ball checks up, and then next thing we know, the backside of the Warriors kickoff team collapses, and so it looks like the Coyotes are going to score. But the Warriors do a great job to recover, leaving the Coyotes to start off their own 16.
All right, type formation, quarterback's under center, one man in the backfield, and they're going to hand that up the middle, and that's going to be their go-to guy, number 15, and my max preps is not working tonight, so I am not sure who that is.
That's going to be Connor Rooney. Now, Connor is listed as a senior. Now, he's 6'2" and 180 pounds.
He is a big boy. He's there all everything.
And these are the kind of guys you get, in these small towns like Dora, 6'2", 180. I mean, this guy, not easy to bring down, and we see that with a pickup of, what did you call that, 13 on the play.
13, right. And I'm sure Portales is like, are you sure you didn't want to come play over here with us?
Right.
But nonetheless, it's going to be shotgun formation, two in the backfield, split backs. They're going to run the scissors, and they're going to hand it to the first man through. And he is getting nowhere. As I was talking with Coach Wigley, and we brought this up, and he said, I don't know if you've noticed this, but they never hand off to the actual scissor guy.
And that's such one of the benefits of six-man. One of the reasons, I guess it's a benefit if you're an offensive guy, a disadvantage if you're a defensive guy. There's so much room on the field that anytime you can maybe get a little bit of misdirection. And so far we've seen Dora run some misdirection. The first play we saw him run a GT trap. Anytime you can get your linebackers moving one way or another, you're destined for just about a big play.
Oh, you're right. And once more, they're going to go under center, single man in the backfield. That's going to be the big guy, and he's going to run a toss sweep. And that's one thing that I have noticed there, Tim, is that you do not get the room on toss sweep. I guess it's just not enough players out there to block.
Elijah Perry, number 4, he comes off almost like a corner linebacker combo. It looks, I don't know what the six-man terminology would be.
But it's also like a defensive end as well, so it's kind of a...
And he played the role of a defensive end. He did exactly what you need to do on a toss. He stretched it out. Dora had nowhere to move up the field, and that's why they're punting here on 4th down.
All right, 8.5 to go here in the first quarter. They're going to line up the punt. That's going to be a line drive punt. Chase Worley back to receive it, and he is not going to get his hands on it as he was itching to get his hands on that, most definitely, because he is the most dangerous player in six-man football.
And there's been so much hype around this guy. I'm so excited to see him. I hear on offense they run a smash mouth style of play. A Gateway looking sharp tonight in black shirt, black trousers, and what do you think of those helmets there, Andre? It's not a matte purple. It's like a reflective.
We've had this conversation.
I've
been up here a couple times in the past couple of weeks, and it's actually a shell that they slipped on the helmet, and it is a chrome purple that he, I guess, purchased a couple of years ago for these helmets. Shotgun formation. He has two in the backfield. He's going to turn around, toss that to Worley, and he's going to get tackled. There's that man again.
Yeah, that's is that Connor Rooney? As we said, 6'2", 180. I mean, that's the kind of shutdown up the middle that you need in six-man. You can do a great job controlling the perimeter with some of your smaller speed guys, but you and I both know, Andre, if they're able to cut that back up the middle, they're going to be running forever. And here in six-man, there's a lot of room to run. So to have somebody like Connor Rooney, 6'2", 180, right in the middle of the field that can stuff up that middle, I think that's going to be a hurdle that the Warriors are going to have to overcome tonight.
Well, do they have him in the middle today? Because last game they had him at outside linebacker, and he just kind of roamed where he wanted to. And I believe he's on the right. Yeah, he's on the far side right now. But they're going to run a trap there, and they're going to hand that ball off to Barton Perret. Perret's going to pick up positive yards. Look to pick up about 7 yards there.
Barton Perret does what he does best. He lowers his shoulders.
Here on six-man football, we get 15 yards is the yard to gain, whereas if traditional 8-man through the other brands of football, it's 1st and 10 or so forth. You got to gain 10 yards as a line to gain. Well, here in six-man, it's 15 yards as a line to gain. So lots and lots and lots of long plays here, considering they got to go an extra 5 yards.
Well, I know on this play, I know what play's coming, and they better get number 50 blocked here. And that's going to be thrown up, and wow. I guess they're going to say Jace ran into him. As I've seen worse pass interference calls in 4A, 5A, 6A football.
Yeah, so all that they're trying to do, the Warriors are just trying to run a fly route, just up the I guess a wheel route is what it would call it, up the right side of the field. I want to remind folks the Warriors tonight are running here in the first quarter. They have the wind of their back, and that's exactly what we saw. We saw the ball sail a little bit, and I don't know if there's contact there. He tripped up, but they're throwing against the wind, and the wind, I should say.
There was definitely contact, and he better. He can't run it. Did the ball bounce?
Yeah, so we have a punt here. It's going to be 4th and 5 for the Warriors. The punter takes the ball, and they muff the punt. It looked like it was a good punt. It hits him right in the hands, but it hops one time. He picks it back up. He takes off to the right side, doesn't have any room to run, so he cuts it back. An impressive athletic carry. He picks up 15 yards, weaving and wobbing that black jersey in between white jerseys. But like you said, the rules of six-man prohibit the first man from touching the ball, from running with it, and that's why. I mean, you could just get your big athletic kid on the outside, get him wherever he needs to be. He could weave and wob and dance around anywhere you need to go.
I am a firm believer that, this is just my opinion, that it's actually a benefit for six-man to actually have to pitch the ball and have your second man do it if you do it right.
Of course, and we see why, because if the first man's just able to touch it, you can go forever, as we saw. Pick up a 15 on a muff punt. When does that happen?
Right. Shotgun formation, he's going to hand the ball off to the fullback, and that is a big fullback, number 35.
It's going to be Cole Kircher. He's listed at 6 foot, 197.
Well, so I'm debating that 6 foot as I'm looking at that.
Now, this is something, Andre, we're about 4 minutes into the first quarter, and we don't have any points on the board. And as advertised, the six-man football, brand of football, is such a high-flying, almost like the Harlem Globetrotters of football. Lots of points on the board, lots of action all the time, and we've had 2 3 and outs so far.
Okay, as we've got some confusion here by the Dora Coyotes as they are finally getting lined up. We've got 2 receivers to the far side. 2 backs in the backfield, quarterback back behind them. The snap's going to go, and they're going to run a little midline and to the fullback once more, and he's going to pick up, looks to be 7 yards. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 5.
Anytime you hear a pickup of a big gain on 2nd down, you don't think a 3rd and 7 is coming. But as we talked about, the 1st and 15, you get 2 good carries, but you're still looking at 3rd and long. But, of course, with where the Coyotes have the ball on the field at the 21-yard line, I have to believe this is going to be 4-down territory all the way.
Right, and it's going to be 4-down territory. They're just going to flip the formation, one receiver to the near, and there's going to be a fumble on the snap as number 10 was the one. That's Lane
Favor.
Lane Favor.
And he's also listed as a senior, 5'9", 151. One thing we've noticed so far is this Coyote team does seem to be senior-oriented. They have 1, 2, 3 seniors out of, the 6 that play.
All right, 2 receivers to the far, 1 to the near. Quarterback is in shotgun, 1. Well, I guess it's pistol formation. This is a very deep pistol formation. They're going to run toss sweep, and he's going to look to throw. And that is Nathaniel Wigley is going to sack. Is that okay? So in 6-man football, is that considered a sack, or is that just a tackle for loss?
I'll say this. It looked like on that play what the Coyotes had mustered up doing, they almost looked to want to toss pass. We didn't see the running back look to try to cut that up. He was running out of real estate going towards the sidelines, and he didn't have any time to throw. Give the Warriors defense great props for getting there very, very, very quickly. And as a result, we get a sack, a tackle for loss. I don't know what the technicality would be.
Right. Snap's going to be back. This is going to be counter, and Jace is going to be tackled once more. And I'm going to tell you right now, if we do not figure out how to get Connor blocked tonight, it is going to be a very long night, as I'm pretty sure he's made every single tackle.
Yeah, Connor Rooney, I mean, he's just a guy, as you talked about, he's been up on that front level, and he's just, you want to use the word hogging. I mean, he's hogging up the field on that side. He's like a human vortex machine, just sucking up the ball carrier anytime it comes his way, and a big part of the Warriors' offense is smash-mouth offense, and if they can't get this guy out of the way, like you talked about, they're going to have some issues.
And I'm trying to figure out exactly. So he's playing basically on that right side. And so you got to just figure out how you can get enough time and room behind him. And that's going to be a throw. And that's going to be passed to Hayden Wigley. And it's good to have him back. And he's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. That is going to be a 43-yard touchdown there. Jace Worley to Hayden Wiggins for the first score of the game. 3:28 to go on the clock. 6-0 is the score here at Gateway Stadium.
And Andre, you asked the question, how do you take Connor Rooney out of the game? And that was the answer the Warriors mustered up. They throw away from him, so they don't have to run that way anymore. They throw away from him. They get Wigley open on what looked to be similar to a post route. We would refer to that essentially as a 7 route, or a post route is not a post route, a flag route. Post route goes from right to left. If you're on the right side, back to the goal post, that'd be a flag route going outside. And Wigley ran it to perfection, and that's their answer for Rooney. You just got to throw away from him.
Okay, and let's see who we have out there kicking. It looks to be Jace Worley to kick, and that kick is up, and it is no good. The one on the left looked like he wanted to say good, and the one on the right said no good. So there's going to be 6-0 with 3:28 to go here in the first quarter. You are listening to Gateway Football on the Gateway Rousel Sports Channel on YouTube and KBIM Radio.
Wendy's is hiring for all positions, including managers. Working for Wendy's allows flexible work schedules, full and part-time available, both AM and PM shifts. It's a great career path and perfect if you need the extra cash. It's easy to apply from your phone. Text the word HIRE to 71441. Text HIRE to 71441. Pay is up to $14 per hour. And for managers, salaries up to $65,000 per year. Apply from your phone. Text HIRE to 71441. Wendy's is an equal opportunity employer.
There's a lot to love about fall. Fresh green chili, great morning coffee, cool evenings, watching the game, and streaming all the new shows with high-speed internet from PVT. That's why fall is the time to upgrade your internet speed.
And we are back here with the kickoff. Is going to be kicked deep this time, and that's going to be he was almost on the goal line there. Is Maddox Jennings got a very good kick off.
Yeah, that's number 2. That's Aaron Coombs. And like you said, a great kick. Of course, the Warriors are kicking with the win tonight, this first quarter. And so it looked like the ball carrier, Aaron Coombs, had his foot on the goal line. And, of course, here at Gateway, that goal line is really distinct as it's colored purple and white. So it stands out from the field. And I thought in New Mexico football, anytime the ball carrier has his foot on that line,
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm willing to bet you money that they thought it was probably got confused by the extra 8-man end zone more so. So it's going to be a 1st and 15, split backs in the backfield, shotgun formation. They're going to hand it on to the first man through. That's going to be Connor Rooney once again. So you're going to hear that name quite a bit tonight as there is 3:10 on the clock and counting.
The Gateway Warriors did a great job that time. I mean, it looks like the Coyotes are just trying to play smash mouth, and the Warriors did a great job of letting that get to essentially the next level. But as soon as it got to the next level, they did a great job of wrapping Rooney up around the ankles, which, doesn't matter if you're 6'2", 7 foot, 5'4", doesn't matter. You know that, Andre. They get you around the ankles, you're not going anywhere.
All right, shotgun formation, one to the left, one in the back. They're going to hand that ball off up the middle once again. That is not to Rooney, as this one is another big guy. That's number 85, and they saying he fumbled, but the umpire is going to say he was down, so umpire rules.
Yeah,
oh, no, that was 35. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's Cole Kircher. Like we said, he's a senior. He's 6 foot tall. He's a guy you had doubts about his height. It looks like what the Coyotes are trying to do. I would describe it like it's an option, but the thing that's kind of makes me hesitant is that the quarterback can't run. So as we would describe a traditional triple option, the quarterback can read the in, he can read the pitch man, he can run it himself. They've got 3 different options, why it's called a triple option. But here it's like a double option that looks like a triple option, but it's not a speed option or a read option. 2
receivers to the far, one to the near. They're going to hand the ball off, and they're going to run a reverse, and that's going to be sniffed out. They're great there by the Warrior defense, tackled there by number 4, Elijah Perry.
And he's the playing left wing, I guess is what we could call it. I mean, we almost got to use basketball terms to describe some of these formations. And so,
defensive end slash
slash center. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And the Coyotes run a reverse there like you talked about, and Elijah Perry does a great job of staying home, making the tackle, forcing the Coyotes into a 4th and long.
4th and 11. The Coyotes are back to punt, and that punt is away, and it's going to turn. It took a right-hand turn.
Yeah, it went further right than it went straight.
So we're looking at about a 6-yard punt there.
It's one of those plays, but think about this, Andre, right? You've got the ball where you're in your own, what did it look like, 27-yard line or so. And so statistically speaking, if you go for it, you give this high-power Gateway offense the ball right in their territory. But think about you're also kicking against the wind. So at what point does it maybe say, hey, guys, we've got this Rooney guy, let's just give it back up to him up the middle on 4th and long and take our chances.
But you had said it was like an option, but they're in Dora a couple weeks ago. They handed that off just like they did and ran option, and it was very successful. 2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far. That's going to be pitched back to Jace Worley, and he's just going to chunk it up as he was getting pressured there by Rooney, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. 2nd down, 15 to go, 1 minute, 4 seconds to go in the first quarter. So one thing that it has happened, unlike the other games, is this first quarter has flown by.
Pressure by Rooney there is an understatement. What we see this quarterback from Gateway just running for his life. They're running looks like I would call it a play action almost because he has the opportunity to run with it. And we see Rooney just trail him all the way from the backside, right? Rooney's playing on the left side of the defense. The quarterback for Gateway's rolling out to the right side. Rooney comes all the way across the field, and the momentum of I believe it was Worley that threw that. Worley got knocked on his butt is what I'm trying to say.
2 receivers to the far side, and they're going to turn around. They're going to pitch that to Barton Perret, and that's a good option there. As well, if he would just run, he tried to cut back right there, but I thought he had more yards there on the sideline.
Well, and I've been very, very, very impressed so far with both of these defenses. I mean, you and I both understand the name of the game is open field tackling. And, we can watch any team, any given week, at any given level, and we all get so frustrated as fans when there's no open field tackling. And so I think we got to give a lot of credit this first quarter to these young men. The name of the game, the name of the defense is open field tackling. Andre, there's not much schematics that really go into the game. It's just so quick. So hats off to both teams so far. We've seen great open field tackling.
And I've got some questions for you I need to get out. But, that should have been roughing the passer, as that two receivers, they're going to have another flag route, and Jace Worley took a big shot there by Rooney. Somebody has to get in his way, because you cannot just let him run free. I mean, you have to have somebody to block him, get in his way, trip him, something. Don't hold him.
Right. What I would expect the Warriors to do, there's a couple things they could do. They could run an option out of him. At the six-man level, you got to be careful, right? Because a quarterback can't run. You could almost run some kind of a screen off of him. I mean, Rooney's being very, very aggressive. Try to run some kind of screen off of him, dump it over his head. Or you could consider some kind of RPO and make him really choose, not be able to get as downhill as he is.
All right. They're going to pitch that back and kind of run away from him. And Jason's looking, and he's made a couple of guys miss, and did he stay in bounds? And they're going to say, no, he didn't.
No, he's out of bounds. He's out of bounds at the 20.
But that is enough for a first down.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds. The public address announcer here is advertising a touchdown. I hope he didn't speak too soon. Our condolences go out to the public address announcer tonight, because I'm just kidding. But an impressive run. The Warriors run a toss play away from Rooney. And like you said, 1st and 15 here, 6 seconds left in the first quarter.
All right, quarterback's going to go under center, and they're going to turn around, and they're just going to quick toss that. And good job there by Jason making him miss, and he's going to find. What I'm noticing? This is what I've noticed.
What are you noticing?
This is most of these kids over here in Dora are probably cowboys.
Yeah.
And they're some big, strong-handed kids.
Well, let's look here. I mean, they got two kids at 6'2". We're talking, okay, get this, 6'2", 180. That's a pretty good kid, He can, good weight program. I mean, he's going to be up there in the 200s pretty soon, and that's the kind of kid, no matter which level you're at, Andre. You want a kid over 6 foot, over 200 pounds on your team. Those are generally the kids that play at the next level. But get this, they got a kid 6'2", 152. They got a kid 6'2", 150, and then 5'11", 145, 6 foot, 197. So, like you mentioned, 5'9", 243. So the Dora Coyotes, I wouldn't say are lacking in the size and physicality to keep up with Gateway, but I think they're lacking in some of the speed compartment. We counter that. Go ahead.
What I did notice, though, but once they get their hands on you, it is over, and I'm pretty sure that's from bulldogging and.
That's what happens when you're driving the reins, man.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And so you're gonna have to figure out how to get that done. But I wanted to ask you earlier.
Yeah.
Now, as aggressive as Rooney plays, is reverse on the tape? Should reverse be on the table for him?
Not if he's disciplined.
Well, he doesn't look that disciplined. He just looked like he's faster, bigger, stronger than everybody else, in my opinion. But we will take a look and see. So we have spread formation. They're going to cross block, and there's going to be a throw up, and that's going to be almost caught there as Elijah Perry. Is that Elijah? Or is
That's
that
Elijah Perry, yeah. Number 4. So we got Chase Worley, and what the Warriors do generally in six-man football, they snap it to the up man and then pitch it back to give the quarterback, I guess is the title we can use, give him the flexibility of running. But this time the Warriors, I mean, that's a design post route all the way, goes straight back to Worley. Worley goes straight up to Wiggly. That's the design play from the very, very beginning. Wiggly looked like he had, Perry. Perry looked like he had a chance at the football. He had his arms laid out. Worley put a good ball on him on the breadbasket, but a great defense there by the Coyotes, forcing the incompletion.
I wouldn't surprised to see the same play to the other way, but nonetheless, they're going to run. Oh, and that Wiggly never saw that as he running out and up, so they tried to go to the air once more on fourth down. It was 4th and 15. Or was that 3rd and 15?
Yeah, so both the scoreboard and the panels on the far side, the down and distance marker, have it 4th down and 15 to go. The ball's going to be on the 21-yard line, middle of the field. And I hate to bring this up, but the Warriors were so close to scoring a touchdown. It was advertised as a touchdown, and here they are on 4th down. So I think Warrior Nation is hoping, praying, and confident the Warriors are going to score a touchdown here. But
I hope Trey doesn't come over here and get a hold of you. That's good. There's nothing I could do. Trey's too big for me to mess with. So Worley's going to drop back again. He's going to throw that and to Wiggly. And Wiggly, that was going to be just a bit short. He had him there. I mean, it just kind of died as they were throwing into the wind.
Right, it's a post route, and that's Hayden Wigley, the senior. He's going to be on the post route, but like you mentioned, the ball was just too underthrown. Of course, the Warriors are going to be throwing against the wind here, but it doesn't look like, from what we've seen so far out of the Warriors offense, the passing game, Andre, hasn't been the Warriors' sweet spot. The sweet spot has been the smash mouth and getting these Coyotes moved, playing very physical, playing very quick.
All right, 2 receivers to the near. Shotgun formation, 1 receiver to the far, and they're just going to run a screen. And Barton Parade was all over that as he was trying to find himself another pick 6 on the season, but it was just the wind playing tricks with that football.
This is, I don't know if we've already mentioned it, but this is beautiful football weather. People are bundled up, the wind's blowing, sun's down, it's cold outside. If we weren't in the booth, Andre, we'd be outside freezing. We'd be icicles by now.
If I was not in the booth, I'd be at home.
You know, the hot chocolate is flowing, the coffee's flowing. Yeah, beautiful football weather, and the wind played tricks with the football.
3 receivers to the near. They're going to pitch that back to Rooney, and that's just a good job of getting off a block there by Barton Parade and coming to get Rooney as they are trying to run Rooney all night long.
And as you mentioned, it looked like the Coyotes had that. They're running a toss to the right side. They've got the numbers. They've got it blocked up pretty well. But the Coyotes just don't hold their blocks long enough. And like you mentioned, we got to give Parade good credit there, being able to shake off the block, use his hands, and bring down Rooney.
Well, he had a good youth league coach, Parade.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You mind to tell us who that was?
That was me.
Okay. And you taught him that?
No, I didn't teach him that. But, he had a good youth league coach. I was just going to put that out there.
I'll second that.
2 receivers to the near, split backs in the backfield, quarterback back behind them, snaps back. They're going to hand that to number 35. And I have no idea what he thought he was trying to do with that football. But Elijah Perry's going to... Elijah Perry's going to bring him down for a loss there on the play.
Let me tell you what Dora can't afford to do. They can't afford to go backwards, especially on the road. It's cold outside. They don't have the momentum. They're not favored to win. This is the semifinal game. They just can't have these negative plays like that, Andre. But here they are, kicking it away again. This is not where they want to be. Now, I'll tell you what, if they can go into halftime with a 6-0, trailing 6-0, which they're not going to, tell us what happened.
Oh, there was... And that's just a good job there. So the snap went back to the punter, and it went over his head, and he did a very good job of recovering that ball, as that ball is a spiral prolate is what that is called, and it does not bounce straight up and down like a basketball. That ball bounced straight up into his hands. He turned around and got a kickoff from...
Now, let me ask you this. We got to think about this, right? Because we have a bad snap here on 4th down. We lose the momentum. We're still going backwards after that bad 3rd down. Do you almost advise your punter to run out of the back of the end zone and take a safety aside from giving the Warriors the ball on the 24?
No. As we run counter right here, and that's going to be Jace Worley, and he's going to be in for his first touchdown of the ball game. That's going to push the lead up 12-0. 7:53 on the counter play.
And that's exactly the kind of thought, though, that we go through, right? Because if you teach your punter to run out of the back of the end zone, then you're able to get a kickoff. Maybe push the Warriors back to their own 20, 10-yard line. Maybe give them the field position at the 30. Now, with that kind of play, would it have made any difference? Because the Warriors were past the line of scrimmage, past the next level. It didn't matter if they were on the 1-yard line or the other 1-yard line. They were going to score a touchdown.
But that play was going to score from anywhere on the field.
But that's 3 negative plays in a row for the Coyotes, and they had a great first quarter, but it's these negative plays that I'm concerned the Warriors might be able to capitalize on.
Well, one thing that I do know is Jace Worley's to attempt the extra point once more, and that one is no good once again. So 12-0 is the score. 7:53. We'll keep the action here so we can actually discuss some things. But my view on that is if you can get the punt off quickly, go ahead and get that off. Because anytime Gateway is not a team you want to give points to. Because they can score in one play, 2 plays, whatever, or they can put a drive together and score that way. So I'm not, as a coach, I would not be very interested in giving away free points to the Gateway Warriors. So if I could get the punt off, let's get this off and try, maybe we can get a fumble. It's cold out here.
That's a great observation because the last drive, the Warriors had it 4th down in their own territory. They had 4 downs in their own territory, and they couldn't punch it in.
Right, 4 downs from about the 10-yard line. So now you give them free points. So, let's just say that now it's 14. Well, you don't even know that because now that momentum is really going, does Jace not make that kick? And now it's 16-0. So I think that was probably the right decision there by the punter because he did get it off cleanly. Now, however, if he had a turnaround kick that got it blocked and they returned it, now that would be a whole nother story about what we're talking about.
You've got to ask the question, right? Why is the snap bad? He's not punting with the wind, so it shouldn't have sailed on him. He's I should say snapping with the wind. He's snapping against the wind. There's no reason it should have sailed on him.
All right, Maddox Jennings with the kickoff, and that's just going to be dove on there by a big number, 99.
That's Keegan Rodriguez. He's 5'9", 243 pounds. So if he can channel a lot of that, what are you looking at me funny for?
That is not 245 pounds. I've seen 245 pounds.
If I'm looking at the same player you're looking at, big number 99.
That's 200. That ain't even 245 pounds. Yeah, he's over in that range right there. I weigh 210.
I'm just, Max Preps, man, you think they might inflate it a little bit?
They did something, as that's going to be option, and that was just you know what that was? That was just not understanding 6-man football because there's no way he should have even went for the quarterback. As the quarterback, he received the snap. He faked the handoff, and he kind of went into no man's land, did Ethaniel Wigley, and he was, who do I get? Just go ahead and get the pitch, man, because he can't run.
Let me also throw something else out there. I know in 6-man, all 6 men are eligible to catch a pass. Could you hypothetically run that play to where you have the option to give the ball, option to pitch the ball, plus an option to throw the ball over the middle, making you really have that triple option threat?
Well, I would assume so, as it's going to be a first down run there, and I'm going to guess that's going to be Connor Rooney, and it is. First down run to the 36. We will call it the 36-yard line of the Gateway Warriors.
Typically, whenever you hear the 36-yard line, you think they're comfortably on their own side of the field, but that's not the case. Here at 6-man football, we're only operating on an 80-yard field, so you hate to try to equate things because it's a completely different game, but 36 would be the 46 as we traditionally think about.
But they're still 36 yards away from the end zone, so
yes, they are.
Really weird. And that's going to be handed off to. Oh, that is not Rooney. I just saw the 5. That is
That's Cole Kircher.
Cole Kircher.
Yeah, like we mentioned, he's one of these guys listed at 6 foot, 200 pounds. So he's definitely got that ability to just put his head down and run people over. That time we saw him break a couple of arm tackles, and that's why, although he got hit in the backfield, he still picks up positive yards. And so far, we've seen this Dora Coyote team down 12 points respond really, really, really well to the 3 negative plays they suffered earlier. So far, I'm surprised at the way they've turned this around.
All right, type formation, 2 wings. Quarterback's going to be on the center, one in the backfield. They're just going to run a wing counter, and that's going to be sniffed out there quickly. First on the tackle is going to be, that is number 45, Victor Oaxaca, and then Barton Perez is going to jump on his back, on Kircher's back, and they get some more. That was Elijah Perry there, so 3 of them. It took 3 of them to get him fully down.
Yeah, a whole host of Warriors, a great pursuit to the ball. It looked like the Coyotes were running. I mean, to me, it looked like it was a shovel option to where Rooney had the ability to pitch it forward is kind of what it looked like. It looked something like almost a jailbreak, which means everybody's going one way, and then Rooney has the ability to shovel it up. And the Warriors, they do a great job of forcing the Coyotes back 5 yards. I talked so much about how much the Coyotes need these positive plays on the road in this environment in this game. Now they're going backwards. Long third down.
3 receivers to the near. Quarterback is in shotgun. He's going to turn around. He's going to pitch that back. That's going to be a tackle there in the backfield, so he's going to lose, looks to be 5, 6, 7, 6 yards. Eli Leonard. And what the coach told me about Eli Leonard is there's probably nobody in the state in this class that's going to outrun him.
And that's exactly what the Warriors needed right there. What we saw Aaron Combs, the runner quarterback for the Coyotes, had the option to throw the ball, and he wanted to cut that back to the wide side. But like you mentioned, the Warriors do a great job keeping contained, forcing the Coyotes to kick it.
And another back snap here for the punter as Leonard looked like he wanted to be the one to field it, but he let that go smartly. As that's going to be, well, it would be a first down if they kept the ball, but that's going to be down there at the 20-yard line. So it'll be first and 15 for the Warriors. 3 minutes, 59 seconds to go. 12-0 is the score. Your Gateway Warriors are on top.
I'll say one reason I think the Coyotes got to be kicking themselves the second quarter. They've had 2 punts this quarter. Neither one of them have gotten about 7 yards off the ground. The reason why that's so significant is because they're punting with about a 14-mile-an-hour tailwind that I think if you get a good boot on this, you could really knock the Warriors back deep in their own territory. But here the Warriors only have 60 yards of field to work with, and we've seen how quickly they can score. It's not a lot.
Right, one receiver to the right, one to the left. Pitches back to Jace. Jace is back, and he's going to throw an interception, and that is going to be very bad there for the Warriors.
Yeah, and his intended target there is Perot. And it looked like Perot was running some kind of a comeback route, and was that Worley that threw it? We said
that was.
That's a pivotal mistake that we commonly see high school quarterbacks make. What happens is he's rolling out to the right side, and he throws the ball against his body to the field. He throws it against the field and against his body, and that's an extremely dangerous throw, and we see another example why tonight.
All right, two receivers to the near, 2 in the backfield. That's going to be snapped back. That's going to be handed off to Rooney as it's going to be first and goal from the 15. And that's going to be a...
That's about 3 yards, right?
4? 3, 4? I don't know.
I want to take note, it took 3 Warriors that time, which is a testament to the Warriors' defensive pursuit, but we've also spoken very, very highly tonight about Connor Rooney, the biggest kid on the field, definitely has the body, the figure to go to the next level, and we saw 3 Warriors that time have to be enough to bring Rooney down, and even then, Andre, he was still trucking along.
2 receivers to the near, split backs once more, and that's going to be fumbled on the handoff as he's going to go down on the knee. You got to be very careful with that as the coach wants a flag, but they're not going to, generally they're not, he didn't abuse him while he was down on the knee. He just kind of wrapped him up, threw him over.
Yeah, well, the danger in that is that you can sometimes get called for a targeting because generally whenever the offensive player goes down to get the football, they also bend their head down. And so as a way to lower their mass of gravity, their center of gravity, as it goes down to pick up the football, so does their head. And this defensive player can come in sometimes with their head and they make contact, and that's 15 yards, and you're not playing the next week.
All right, and that's going to be handed off, and he's looking to throw. And that was almost a disastrous play that worked out there for Dora as he just threw that up for grabs as the guy was running back and our defender was running back with him. And then he just stopped and almost caught the ball.
That is what I would call a 6-man version of a run-pass option. It looks like it's just an off-tackle power play going from left to right to the wide side of the field. The Coyotes get into a lot of trouble. Next thing you know, there's a player streaking down the field. So instead of running it like we would expect or having to worry about an offensive lineman downfield, they just huck it up there. He throws it a little bit too far, but like you mentioned, that'd be what I would consider a run-pass option we talked about earlier at the six-man level.
All right, we have a timeout on the field. 2 minutes, 29 seconds to go here in the first half. 0. I'm sorry. Your Gateway Warriors 12, Dora, Kyle 0. You're listening to Gateway Football on the Gateway Rousel Sports Channel on YouTube and KBIM Radio.
There's a lot to love about fall. Fresh green chili, great morning coffee, cool evenings, watching the game, and streaming all the new shows with high-speed internet from PVT. That's why fall is the time to upgrade your internet speed with unlimited data from PVT to connect your home to everything you love. Call 575-748-1241 or visit pvt.com. Connect your home with PVT high-speed internet today.
Hi, I'm Adrian from George's Carpet and Tile at 216 West 2nd Street in Roswell. We've been here for quite some time and we love our customers. If you don't know us yet, we would love you to be our customer. If you're yet to visit, swing by and we will treat you well.
All right, and welcome back. That's going to be a fake handoff there, and he's going to throw the pass up, and that is out of the end zone. So that was their fourth down play. So 2:23 to go. That interception thrown there by Jace Worley is not going to kill them just yet.
And you always hear the phrase, defense wins championships, and that's exactly what we see here in the second quarter of the semifinal game. The Warriors yet to give up a point. The offense at times has been a little stagnant, but like you mentioned, even when they throw an interception deep in their own territory, it doesn't come back to bite them. Great discipline, great defense by the Warriors. I got to say, I think that they got kind of bailed out there, considering the Coyotes overthrew their intended receiver by about 7 yards. But nonetheless, that's sometimes what happens, and we don't want to take anything away from the Gateway defense.
All right. One receiver to the near, one to the far, 2 in the backfield. The snap is going to be back, pitch back to Worley. Worley's going to throw the over route there to Worley, as that's going to be just a tad bit in front of him.
Yeah, they're just throwing a post route there, Andre. They start it from the left side, and they're just running back to the middle of the field. And like you mentioned, the throws just – he overlet him. And, of course, as you mentioned, his intended receiver, there's going to be Hayden Wigley, who we've raved about tonight. He's really a tremendous athlete for the Warriors. He's been somebody that the town has been talking about, and really it's on his shoulders why the Warriors are here tonight.
All right. Wing formation, that's going to be Nathaniel Wigley. He's going to be back, and he's going to throw the up into the air. Elijah Perry's going to come down with it across midfield, down to the 30. They sure know how to spot him here. I'll tell you what, that's going to be down to
32.
To the 32, as that was just kind of I don't want to say a Hail Mary, because it was right on the money, and Elijah Perry did a good job of tracking that ball, running under, and then actually holding on to it this time.
Right, it's a post route. In the last play, they ran a post route left to right. This time they run a post route right to left. And we've seen the Warriors throw this drive, which they have over 2 minutes left on the clock. So it's very, very aggressive play calling by Coach Wigley.
All right, Bulldog formation there for Gateway. They're going to turn around and pitch the ball to Jace. Jace is looking to throw, and he's going to throw that up to Nathaniel Wigley. And that should be pass interference. But nonetheless, it's going to be incomplete at the 4. Second and 15, 1:35 to go on the clock.
And let me make an observation. It looks like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like Nathaniel Wigley, number 1, he was the intended target on that play from the very beginning. It doesn't look like the Warriors have any other outlet passes or any other check down passes that they're going to. And as a further testament to that, Worley is just running for his life back there. He's been hit hard tonight, which you hate to see.
You want to know the crazy thing about it is he's also the one that pitched it to him. So Barton's going to get the ball there on it's like a trap / fly sweep / wing counter.
Right,
play.
Power.
As they're kicking. I think they pulled the center and kick out with him, and he's going to pick up, looks to be about 5 yards, so that should be third down and 10.
It's almost like the first thing that came to mind is a fumble-rooski. Do you remember that old fumble-rooski play?
Right.
Because it's like a misdirection power where like a zone, inside zone play. You're right. A very traditional for 6-man, but too extensive for our vocabulary.
All right. Same formation there. They're going to turn around, and he's just going to throw that up for grabs, and that's going to be, they're going to say he dropped that, but that was a good effort there by Leonard.
No, they're going to say it was incomplete. Looked like
it was close. It was a good adjustment there by Elijah Leonard.
Oh, it was a fantastic adjustment. Now he had to come back sharply to the ball. Of course, the Coyotes have double coverage on the play. It's going to bring up a huge 4th and 9, 42 seconds left. And let me tell you, Andre, if the Coyote offense can hold, the Coyote defense can hold it, they have to, because the Warriors are going to get the ball to start the second half. The last thing you want is to go into halftime down 3 possessions and giving your opponent the ball. That's a scary place to be in.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Please do.
Why wouldn't you just go back to that counter power play that you ran in 60 yards or whatever, 60 yards on the last possession? As that ball's going to be snapped back and it's going to be pitched back to Jace Worley. Worley's going to, he made.
Go Hurley!
And he made everybody miss, and then he fumbled. And that's going to be, well, it doesn't matter who it's recovered by, as that was 4th down. That's going to be a turnover either way at the 34-yard line.
It looks like the Warriors have it. It looks like it's a design pass on the play. The protection fails. There's nobody open downfield. Worley runs for his life, and for a second, third, Andre, it looked really, really promising. He goes right, makes everybody miss, cuts it back to the left side. The Coyotes there do a great job running him down, keeping contained, forcing him to lose the football, lose momentum, and lose the possession.
And this is where the things could get interesting. I'm thinking if I am Dora, I am content with going in down 12-0. However, 3 receivers to the near, they're going to try to run a double pass, and that is almost tipped and intercepted, but it's going to be incomplete. There, 18 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
So they run a screen play to the right side, but they throw it behind the line of scrimmage, and there's 2 Warriors there to get him. And so what they do, the Coyotes do, is they throw it. They had a first backwards pass, and so they can do that. And so now they're going to be 2nd and 15.
All right, and seeing that was what I was saying. That was almost tipped by that up back and intercepted. Snap's going to be back. They're going to throw a quick out route here too.
And the quick pass is incomplete.
Connor Rooney, 15 seconds to go. So they only ran 3 seconds off that clock. It is now 3rd down.
So let me also throw this idea at you. I think if you're Coach Wigley and you get a stop here, do you call a timeout, forcing them to be in a 4th down and forcing them to punt so that you'll get the ball back with, say, 7 seconds left? First of all, you're force them to punt, which they haven't punted great all night.
They haven't snapped great either.
So you'll probably get the ball back, if things go according to the way they've been, probably get the ball back around the 40, which is midfield, with about 6 seconds left. You've got time for about 1 play. So do you call a timeout here if you force the 4th down?
Absolutely. 3 receivers to the near. Quarterback in shotgun, 1 behind him. That is Connor Rooney. And they're going to turn around. They're going to just pitch that over on the left-hand side. And there's going to be a flag. Another flag is he's going to be tackled there at the
34.
34, but I'm pretty sure that was probably illegal. What they call that now, illegal block below the waist.
So do you accept the penalty, which moves them back to 3rd and, say, 26, or do you decline the penalty, force them at 4th and 5?
Well, I would send them back because if I were a betting man, I would bet that they're going to probably try to score right here. So you might get a chance to get an interception and get some kind of something, and especially if they fumble or whatever, as the ball is now pushed back inside the 10 to it's the back half of the football is resting on the 5-yard line. So we will call it the 6 for all intents and purposes. But if something crazy happens here, you never know. Snap is back, quarterback's back. He's looking to throw, and that's going to be incomplete. 5.5 seconds to go. Now they're punting, so now you don't have to call that timeout. They've got to punt. Last time they were back here, it got a little interesting.
It's a great observation. I think had the Coyotes decided, like you had mentioned from the get-go, that they were going to be a little bit more conservative, we wouldn't have this conversation. The Warriors wouldn't have had the chance to get the ball back regardless of the penalty. But, like you mentioned, the Coyotes haven't snapped it well. They haven't punted well. The Warriors might have a chance of getting points on the board.
And that was going to be called timeout. I am thinking, and I don't know this for
I
sure.
see the snapper.
I don't think that's what this is. I'm thinking
Timeout has been called on the field
we need to
with
figure out a way to
little
block
under 5
this punt.
seconds left here in this first half.
I think they're icing the snapper. Go over, make that snapper. Think about not messing this up. Like we've seen a couple of those. I think it's both of them. I really do. I think it's both of them.
I mean, I don't think he really cares too much about that snapper. A.
Right.
B. I think he's like, if I bring one more, don't put a man back because it is. Well, I guess you kind of need to put. I would put just Jace back, maybe 2 safeties.
You bring 5. You're saying bring 5.
No, I would probably bring 4,
Okay.
and maybe have 1 safety and Jace back, and just have a safety and say, "Hey, we're coming after it." Because once that snap is back, he can't run anyway. Well, so why not bring 5? I guess he could still throw it essentially, but. Snap is back. The punt is up. It is fielded by Jason. This is going to get very interesting as he has plenty of room here on this side. It's going to be it was a foot race, and Jace is going to run it.
They marked him out of bounds. No, they marked him out of bounds. This official on the left side is calling him out of bounds at the 1. Like you'd mentioned, it was a line drive kick, which is a way to say you outkick. They kick these line drive kicks, and let's see. I mean, the officials now are congregating. There's no time left on the clock. The points for the Warriors are already on the board, but I never saw a touchdown signal.
No, the referee did signal touchdown.
Was there touchdowns? Okay.
So the referee signaled touchdown. This one signaled.
This one hasn't, but it's the official on this side. It's his call.
And they're going to mark him short.
They're going to mark him short. So what had happened that time? The Coyotes are kicking the ball off. They get a good punt off. It's a line drive punt. Worley has all day to run the football. He runs it over to the left side. The Warriors do a great job building the edge, giving him the ability to run to the left side, and he's marked out of bounds. Coach Wigley is pleading his case, saying that the ball was reached over the pylon, but it doesn't look like these Albuquerque officials are going to be too receptive to Coach Wigley's message. I'm amazed that was the best kick we've seen tonight out of the Coyotes. It was a great line drive kick. Great job by Worley there to field the kick. He put the wheels on there, Andre. We thought we were going to have a touchdown there, a sure touchdown, but you got to give it to the Coyotes. Just a tremendous hustle, pushing him out of bounds when it looked like he was going to go all the way. That's a testament to...
I'm not going to give them credit for pushing him out of bounds.
Well, but they could have given up on the play.
Oh, well, yeah.
They could have given up on the play and not hustled and said, well, we're going to go into halftime down 18 points. It's just inevitable.
But I really would have liked to see Jace kind of put his foot in the ground right there and you've got the momentum. You're running probably 18 miles per hour. And just put your left foot in the ground and get skinny.
Just run them over.
Well, I wouldn't even try to run them over. There was 2 of them there, and I would have did the old marriage play and got right between them and made, one-arm tackles are not going to bring Jace when he's at a full head of steam.
And that's exactly what he was. He was coming from right to left, and the Coyotes, as we mentioned, they had a great pursuit that time. But I agree with you, Andre. I think it's not a lack of effort.
No.
And we got to make that distinction.
I still think he scored, by the way, but I'm just saying right there, kind of keep it so there is no doubt.
Let me also throw something else out there. We didn't see the pylon move. And this is typically one of those NFL highlight plays that we see. This is what they show when they're trying to sell you the DirecTV Sunday ticket. They show you the player reaching out, jumping for the pylon. The pylon goes a million different directions. You see the pylon cam, but we didn't see the pylon move here. So as you mentioned, advice for Jace, putting his shoulder down and running over the defenders or doing what he needs to do to score that time. We can also throw out the alternative solution, which solves the same problem. Knock that pylon over. Get that ball.
Yeah, hit the ball and hit the pylon.
Whack that pylon.
That's just the lack of, playing. That's something you learn after about 10, 15 years of playing football. Nonetheless, we are here at halftime. 12-0 is the score. Your Gateway Warriors are on top. We are going to take a break and come back with the second half kickoff. You are listening to Gateway Football on the Gateway Roswell Sports Channel on YouTube and KBIM Radio.
Hi, I'm Adrian from George's Carpet and Tile at 216 West 2nd Street in Roswell. We've been here for quite some time and we love our customers. If you don't know us yet, we would love you to be our customer. If you're yet to visit, swing by and we will treat you well. Find your perfect forever floor with our superb service. We don't just do carpet and tile. Come see our wood, carpet squares, and luxury vinyl flooring too. Remember, we're George's Carpet and Tile at 216 West 2nd Street.
Forest Tire cares about your time. You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
And welcome back here. Well, we are at halftime. 12-0 is your score. Your Gateway Christian Warriors over the Dora Coyotes. Tim, you have some scores for us?
Yeah, we got a couple here. West Las Vegas is up 42-8 over Newcomb. Estancia and Eunice, they're in the second quarter. That game's tied 13-13. Rio Rancho and Alamogordo in the second quarter. Rio Rancho leads 14-7, and that's a game that I really had my eye on because Alamogordo, Andre, is a team that used to play in the same district with Roswell High, Goddard, and Artesia, and Alamogordo traditionally struggled as a football program. Of course, we know A.J. Sisko's down there. He's rebuilding the program. He's getting it built, and so this was a game to see how well are they moving in the right direction. And so for Alamogordo to be playing 14-7 in the second quarter against Rio Rancho, it sounds like Coach Sisko's got him rolling down there in Alamogordo at the 6A level, which that big jump outside of playing with Roswell High and Goddard and Artesia kind of made me nervous to see how well are they going to do. And, you know, from a mental perspective, there was a question about how well can the Tigers compete at this 6A level against some of these top schools in Rio Rancho and Albuquerque. And so far, the Tigers have certainly held their own, and a credit to A.J. Sisko.
Well, and I was down there a couple of years ago, and, his first year there, and the problem that happened is he had a whole lot of kids quit. I don't know if you've talked to him about it at all, but he had a whole bunch of kids quit because they didn't have the discipline in the program there in Alamogordo. So him coming from Hatch, where his legend there at Hatch is undeniable, as he's got a couple state championships down there, and as he, once he said, once I get my program into the middle schools and get my kids and they get used to the discipline, that he was going to be successful. Alamogordo has always had athletes down there.
Yeah, and so we've seen they go up to a hostile environment playing up in Rio Rancho. That's a long bus ride from Alamogordo, and that's great to see. Of course, I think competing at that level, you mentioned they got the athletes, so how much more of it is discipline and how much more of it is that mental hurdle that some teams just can't overcome. And so because Coach Sisko's been able to overcome those two obstacles in terms of the mental hurdle that sometimes is presented in certain cultures, I think Alamogordo can be very, very, very successful.
Well, that, and you also, I don't know the exact numbers, but I don't think he has the numbers that, say, a Rio Rancho, a Cleveland, Centennial has. I mean, he may, but I don't think Alamogordo as a school does.
And, the good thing, like you mentioned about Alamogordo, same story like Artesia, same story like Carlsbad, is that these coaches can get these students at the 7th grade level, get them into their system, get them running a very basic offense, but getting all of them to play together and a basic defense, getting them kind of in the same system, similar routines, similar voices. That's an environment that created in some of these towns that Roswell doesn't have that advantage of.
All right, and we're here with the kickoff. That's going to be a short kickoff. It's going to bounce up to Jace Worley. Worley's going to go around the right side. He's going to cut up the middle, and there's going to be a flag on the play as he takes the ball up to the 27-yard line.
Should be a block in the back. Is what
probably going to be, but nonetheless. So did I just hear you say Roswell needs one high school?
No, I said
I'm pretty sure that's what I heard you say.
Now, it's like a campaign, man. I'm stumping here. There are advantages to such a system. We look at what other towns around us can do, such as Clovis. That
is not a very good example this year.
Not this year, but when Roanhouse was there, that was that was the example. Everybody talks about what would happen if the Coyotes and Rockets combined forces like it's a Marvel movie. Realistically, I mean, I know that's not the topic of discussion. I don't know how likely that is to happen, but if Coach Lynn or Coach White or whoever they brought in could have everybody under the same program from the time they were 7th graders,
that would be amazing. Nonetheless, it is 1st and 15.
We got to wake up
for Gateway. One to the near, one to the far. Shotgun snap is back. Worley's gonna just throw that out, and just not enough as he's throwing into the wind on a go route there for Hayden Wigley.
Yeah, like you said, all we're going to have is Hayden Wigley. He's going to be lined up on the left side, and he's just going to shoot up on that wheel route or shoot up on that go route. The Warriors are going to snap it straight back to Worley. We know that this is going to be a design pass play all the way. What I'm surprised to see, too, the Warriors don't have any check down options. I know we've already mentioned this tonight, but Wigley, number 7, that's Worley. He's the only one. 5 was Wigley. He was the one down the field. Forgive me. He's kind of the only option. I mean, I'm not seeing any check down options.
There was one on the other side, but what I was thinking is, since you went ahead and snapped it straight back, why not run these on flare routes? There are 2 up backs on some flare routes and try to get it that way. As they're going to run basically the same kind of play, and they're going to throw that incomplete. They're intended for. That is Elijah Perry.
Now let me ask. So the Warriors they're up 12-0. They have the ball down deep in their own territory at the 15-yard line, and we see pass. I'm questioning why the Warriors aren't playing in smash mouth football, as we've seen them play tonight. Pick up some yards, take some time off the clock, and continue to slowly and surely move the ball on this Coyote defense. So far we've seen the Warriors come out, go pass. 15 seconds are off the clock, Andre. The last thing you want to do is give the Coyotes the ball back after a 3-and-out.
And you are correct. We've got the same formation here. That ball's going to be snapped and then pitched back to Worley. Worley's going to go, and he's going to throw to Nathaniel Wigley, as he was the one that pitched it back to him. That's going to lose about 2 yards. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 17.
It looks like it's a screenplay with the pitchman, but the Coyotes are able to stay home on that. They're bringing 3. 2 of them get through. 1 of them stays back to defend against that screenplay. And so now we've had 3 passes, 1 completed. The Warriors are going to have 4th and 16, 17 here, be forced to punt. They're going to take a minute off the clock and give the Coyotes the ball back, punting here against the wind.
Okay, punt formation. That snap is back. It's going to be kicked up high in the air, as that is going to be down there by Elijah Perry, as they're trying to say that the guy touched it for Dora, but the official said no way.
So the Coyotes are going to take over on the Warrior 32-yard line. And could this second half be about momentum? Can the Coyotes, it seemed like the Warriors hogged the momentum the first half with few exceptions. Could this be a situation where if the Coyotes get a touchdown here, they start to slowly but surely move the football on, Trey? Could we start to see the Warriors be in a position they haven't been in all year, which is playing on their heels, playing from behind?
Yeah, we can see, maybe, possibly, but I don't know. And that's going to be a fumble, as I don't know what those flags are coming out for.
Face mask.
Was it a face mask?
Yeah. So it looks like the Warriors have I don't know what offensive. So what we saw, the quarterback's under pressure. Somebody's got the Warriors have their arm around him, and the ball goes flying up in the air. You generally want to teach the quarterback to only throw the ball away whenever he's out of the pocket and there's no other option at all. Sometimes, Andre, it's okay to take the sack. It's better to just take the sack than to flare the ball up in the air, because that's what we saw. He fumbled the football, whereas I think it would have been best there to just tuck it and go down with it. But nonetheless, it's hard to say it's going to work out necessarily, but it won't be as detrimental, as bad as it could have been.
I'm thinking that those 2 flags are for intentional grounding and not face mask. But we will see here as the referees. Dead ball. Oh, nope, face mask. You're right. Well, that's going to be a 15-yarder from the spot. So that's going to bring up a first down, the old first down, and we'll call it 8.
And after a face mask call on the Warriors,
The Coyotes have found themselves on the heels of a very, very rare Warrior mistake. Can they take advantage of it?
We will see. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far. The running back is side saddle right to the quarterback. Quarterback's going to do a light roll here to the left. He's going to throw that up for grabs, and that is going to be dropped there by Connor Rooney.
Connor makes a great play to come back to the football. He has position. He has the ball in his sights. He's free. His arms aren't tangled up. There's no contact, and it hits him right in the right shoulder pad there, Andre, and he drops it. And on the road in the semifinal game, down by 12, you've got a break. I think we could talk about that play at the end of the game as that's one of the important plays that decides the outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we're going to come, there's 3 receivers to the near, pistol formation. So they're going to pitch this back, and he's going to roll this way, and he's looking to run. He's not even looking to throw, and that's going to be a good job there by Elijah Leonard.
So it looks like it's a toss pass option. I guess is what we could call it, a run pass option. They're going to toss it out. That way, Aaron Combs has the ability to run the football. And like you mentioned, great job of the Warriors defense here to swarm to the football. They do a great job of bringing down the runner in the open field. We go from 1st and 8 now to 3rd down and about 6.
Okay, and they're breaking the huddle is the Dora Coyotes.
all right, boys.
They're going to run a tight formation, double wing. Quarterback is under center. He's going to turn around. He's going to fake that, and he's going to throw that up, and that's going to be a good job there. That's Elijah Leonard once more, and bats that ball down. So
I would say it looks like it's a play action, and so what the Coyotes are trying to do is they're trying to get the Warriors aggressive. They're trying to get them to come forward and then eventually dump a flag route over the defense. And so you got to give a lot of credit there to the Warrior defense. That's an extremely difficult play to defend, especially whenever it's 3rd and short, and you've got a lot of momentum. The fans are yelling. The fans are in the game. So great discipline by the Warriors.
Same formation, quarterback under center, and this time they're going to hand the ball up the middle, and that is not what I would have called there. But nonetheless, that's going to be a turnover of downs as Connor Rooney's going to pick up about 2.
So what the Coyotes are trying to do is they're trying now to run smash mouth. I mean, they just give it to Rooney on what looks like a dive, straight up the middle. He's met immediately by the Warriors, and the Coyotes are going to have to turn it over again. So far this half, both teams have had the football. We've had 2 3-and-outs, which is not what we had advertised coming into the game, though, Andre. But, hey, I think if you're the Warriors, I think to an extent you can live with it. The defense has to keep you in the game. Defense wins championships. And so far, they're pitching a shutout. So far, so good.
All right, 1st and 15 here from the 20 for the Gateway Warriors. We got wing to the left. They're going to send Jason in motion, then they're going to run Barton Pillay right up the middle, and he's going to rumble, and I say that because he is built like a fullback that you would want in every system in the state of New Mexico.
Yeah, but he looks great running downhill. He looks like the kind of guy that can get behind a couple of linemen, get in the pile, get bumped around, and still continue to find a way to get his legs trucking and turning and moving forward. So, as you mentioned, he's a downhill back. He's kind of a heavy back.
You know who he reminds me of? It's just looking at him on the field.
Who's that?
Peyton Hillis.
Really?
That is who he reminds me of. Toss sweep over here to the near side for Jace. Jason's going to pick up the first down to midfield. That's going to be a run of 6. And that's with 7:01 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
The Warriors are starting to move the ball. They're starting to gain momentum. They've had 2 plays this drive. One play for a first down like we just saw, but the play before that, good for about 12 to 13. So far the Warriors, they've run the ball this possession, which is completely different than what they did the first possession. And the clock is, they're taking some time off the clock. They're slowly but surely grinding away at this Coyote defense, making sure that they'll be able to get the big play when it's all said and done.
You know what I would like to see Barton do this offseason is do some speed work. There's going to be a snap back, and he's going to throw that up for grab, and that's going to be intercepted there by Dora.
Intercept the ball on the 28-yard line.
I would consider that to be a play action. They fake it they fake the run to the left side. They fake a power to the left side. They're looking for that post route deep across the middle. The ball's thrown up in the air against the wind, and it does nothing but sit there. And that's why it ends up in the hands of the Coyotes. But we got to raise the question. The first play is a 12-yard run. The second play is a 6-yard run for the first down. The third play, the drive's a pass for an interception. So, as I said, I would love to see the Warriors get back to that pound, smash mouth. And I think that's where they'll find a lot of success.
All right, 2 receivers to the near, split backs in. They're going to run the ball straight up the middle, and he's going to pick up positive yards. Looks to pick up about 5.
And he only gets 5. And so we've seen this Warrior defense so far tonight eliminate the big plays from the Coyotes. The Coyotes have not been able to get these massive chunk plays. They haven't been able to really sustain a drive, Andre, move the ball down the field. So the Warriors, I know we talked over the break about not 3 yards in a cloud of dust, 5 yards in a cloud of dust, but I think the Warriors are okay to give up a little bit here and there and make the Coyotes go the length of the field, challenge them not to make a mistake in the meantime.
Absolutely. 2 receivers to the near. They're going to toss to the far side, and he's going to cut up, and he's going to get a very short gain. So that's essentially, so you pick up about 5 yards on that first play, then you only pick up 1 or 2. So now you're basically, as they like to say, behind the chains now.
The Coyotes haven't had any success running side to side. The only chance they've had is whenever they've run up the middle. They also haven't been able to throw it well at all tonight, which is a testament to this Gateway defense. So the question is, we're about halfway through the third quarter, 12-0, Warriors lead. Can the Coyotes come back if they only choose to shrink the playbook down to smash mouth? You would say between the tackles, but it's 6 man.
There are no tackles.
There are no tackles, so
So we have a timeout here on the field. 5:24 to go here in the third quarter. 12-0. Your Gateway Warriors are on top. You are listening to Gateway Football on the Gateway Route Sports Channel on YouTube and KBIM Radio.
Wendy's is hiring for all positions, including managers. Working for Wendy's allows flexible work schedules, full and part-time available, both AM and PM shifts. It's a great career path and perfect if you need the extra cash. It's easy to apply from your phone. Text the word HIRE to 71441. Text HIRE to 71441. Pay is up to $14 per hour, and for managers, salaries up to $65,000 per year. Apply from your phone. Text HIRE to 71441. Wendy's is an equal opportunity employer.
All right, and we are back as we're coming back from timeout. Third down, and that looks to be about 8. 2 receivers to the near, split backs in the backfield. That is the big Connor Rooney in the back. So my guess is they're going to run some sort of option using him, as that snap's going to be, that's going to be thrown over the top. It looked like they were throwing the quick screen, but they're going to throw that over the top, and that's going to be caught for a first down.
Yeah, so what the Coyotes, it looks like they're doing, Aaron Combs is the target. They're running a quick hit to the right side. It's kind of like a comeback route, essentially, but it's so quick, it looks like it's a wheel route, and that was a huge play for the Coyotes. They're now going to have a first down, a new set of downs. They need points this drive. This is a pivotal drive. They got to have points. I don't know if you only have about 13 minutes on the clock, down 12 to the Warriors, do you stand a chance? They got to get points.
2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far, and that's going to be thrown up for grabs there as he had heavy pressure. Elijah Leonard with the pressure. Once again, he is having himself a day defensively, but he just threw that up, and we didn't have a man back there, and they didn't either.
throwing it up is the most accurate way to say that. The Coyotes, we've seen them have success with some of these quick-hitting plays, some of the smash-mouth football, and first play after picking up the first down, a huge chance to establish the drive and continue to maintain momentum and get positive yards. We see a play that results in a very questionable outcome. So this is a place where you don't want to be as an offense. Second down and 15, and the Warriors, the ball's on the Warrior side of the field.
Boys, let's go!
But you've made it more tough for your offense.
So 4:49 to go here. They're going to try to run that reverse, and then they're going to pitch the ball, and that's going to be a fumble. So they are trying to get too cute for their own good right now. Now, if I have the big team, like if I have a big team like Dora, I am not running side to side trying to be cute, running reverse pass options. I am going to line up, and I'm going to just give the ball to Connor Rooney, and I'm going to say, come hit him, and
Let's go!
you're going to have to bring him down, kind of like what the Tennessee Titans do with Derrick Henry.
Just give him the ball and say, move the people in front of you and just run that way. What we see the Coyotes doing, it's 2nd and 15. I don't know why. It's a reverse, and it didn't look
They
like
faked the reverse, but they ran option. I don't know.
Come on, boys, take the tempo!
it was like a forced option. It was a very undisciplined play. It raises a lot of questions.
Okay, as this has now became a game of comedy of errors, as the one receiver to the near, one to the far, split back, snap all the way back to Jace, and he fumbled it, and he went down to a knee to pick the ball up.
Hey, you can recover! Keep it going!
The positive play for that, for the Warriors, I know you're 2nd and 25. You're like, what's this guy doing talking about positive plays? The clock is running, which I'm of the philosophy you would like to score as many points as possible and not play conservative. But we've had no points in the last 6 minutes of a six-man game, which I hear is unheard of. And so maybe playing conservative isn't the worst thing to happen.
No, it's not, but it's going to be handoff up the middle to Barton. Barton's going to pick up positive yardage and not back to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to be about 4 yards. Well, he's going to be about 5 yards short of that. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 20.
Now, this is the player that you speak very highly about, Barton Paré, running downhill. We saw that physicality. We saw him be able to just run downhill and run very, very, very physically. And there it looked like he gained 6-7 yards. Mathematically, if you have, am I wrong? Was my math wrong? How many yards did
He got 11 on that round.
Where'd they have it at? Did they have it at
the 29.
Was it the 29 or 32?
29.
Okay. Mathematically, you can live with that.
Yep.
And you're moving the ball.
Go, 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 go!
All right, handoff up the middle there to Jace Worley, and Worley's going to be tackled there as there's one man to beat, and that was Connor Rooney. And once he gets those paws on you, you just go down.
So the Warriors pick up 11 on a run play. Now they pick up 6 on that run play. So this is what we talked about, Andre. The Warriors physically are able, when they're staying inside, they haven't run the ball outside. They've stayed inside. They look like a really, really, really great team when they run the ball right at you. Very, very physical smash-mouth team. This drive, they've taken about 4 minutes off the clock already, but they find themselves behind the chains. And today, the offense hasn't executed well behind the chain. So a huge, huge, huge play here for the Coyote defense. They need to get off the field.
All right, 2:15 on the clock, and that's going to be punted there by Jace Worley, as that's going to be straight up in the air, and that took a Dora bounce as it bounced back. But I wanted to ask you.
It's going to be a punt of a yard.
Hey, well, should just, I don't even know if it's that. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But what I wanted to ask you is, on that play, that quick hitter that they just ran, which is the one that Jay scored on from around the same place.
All right, you got to hold, boys. Let's go.
We know that Connor Rooney is the man for the Dora
Keep that
Coyotes.
physicality up.
Now,
Let's
do
go.
you flip? I mean, you're running that at him, so you're actually giving him a chance. But what if you ran that away from him? Would that, you think that would actually work better, or do you think you just got to get a better job of getting a body on him and making him miss so he doesn't chase it down from the backside.
Yeah, great ball. I think you also have to set it up with some misdirection.
Right. All right, they're going
Get him,
to
get him, get
snap
him!
his back, and they're going to turn around and send
Good
that
shot,
back to
Nathaniel!
Connor Rooney, and he's going to pick up about a yard. But my thing is
There you go, Burton.
I want to say, and it might not be hot enough for that, for
For
this, I should say, but I would love to see kind of get him running around like a chicken with his head cut off and see if you couldn't tire him out. I mean, it is too late to try it now, but I mean, he wants to make every tackle anyway, so I would just run away from him and just make him chase all game long, and then now at this point of the game, he would be tired.
Yeah, it's a great observation. Like we mentioned, get some misdirection, screen off of him. Hard counts. We haven't mentioned that if he wants to play really aggressive. Maybe get a hard count on him and make him think twice.
So that snap is back, and it is going to be a throw out here to Rooney, and that's going to be hit right away there by Barton Perret. That's physical on physical, as that was
will take down the catcher for no
going to
gain.
be a incomplete pass
For the Coyotes.
there for the Dora Coyotes.
Keep it going, keep it going.
I don't know how many more drives this Dora offense can have where they don't
You get
score.
frustrated
There's
by
no
the bad
points.
football?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the sense of urgency for the Coyotes, it's more of a consistency question. They haven't been able to find the play or the scheme that's been able to get the Warriors. It hasn't been side to side. It's been okay up the middle. It certainly hasn't been the passing game. I'd love to see the Coyotes make this competitive by finding that niche in the offense.
Yes! Good
All right,
Barton.
and that's going to be a rollout pass there, and he's going to throw that up
Perret
to
once again finds his
that's
man.
number
The Coyotes get a 5-yard gain.
35. That's the big 6 foot 200-pounder, right?
Yeah, it's Cole Kircher. That's a very dangerous pass. He's throwing against his body. He's throwing to the far side of the field. But they have a man over the middle, and now it's going to be 4th down and 7. Clock is running. We're about to hit the 4th quarter already. We just got started, it feels like.
Hey,
Andre.
40 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter, and I do not mind that one bit as the door is open. That's why I got that breeze. I was wondering what that was all about. Anyway, 2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far. Pistol formation for Dora.
Here we go. Shut him down.
The snap is back. He's back. He's looking to throw. He's going to go up top, and I don't know how he was just wide open. Nobody was on him, as there was a mix-up with the defense, but he's going to get into the touchdown.
And the Coyotes will run it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, and Coach Stevens, the
12
defensive
seconds
coordinator,
in the
he's
third quarter.
got his hands in the air wondering what's going on. Where was the backside contained there? You're right. It looked like just a fly route there for the Coyotes. And next thing we know, the pass is complete and they're in the end zone. But a very, very rare mistake by the Warriors defense. There wasn't a soul there. It was a blown coverage. Let's put it that way. There was no coverage on the backside, and Coach Stevens there seemed to be confused, seemed to be frustrated. But we talked about the pivotalness that this pivotalness, is that a word?
I think you made it up.
We talked about how important it is for the Coyotes to get points this quarter. It's now a 1-possession game. We could go into the 4th quarter with a 1-possession game. We still got 12 seconds left, so 6-man. Let's never say never, But how important was that for momentum?
And they just snapped the ball. The guy wasn't ready, and he's just going to fall on it there. So 12 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. 12-6 is the score. Your Gateway Warriors are on top. And you were saying
Just how important it is that the Coyotes are able to get points that drive. They're not going to go into the 4th quarter down 2 possessions. They're only going to go into the 4th quarter. Granted, nothing crazy happens over the next 12 seconds. Only down 1 score to the best team in the state. They're on the road. It's the semifinal game. This Gateway crowd has been great all night. I'm sure you've been able to hear them in the background. So how important is it for the Coyotes to be in this position within a 1-score game at this point in the ball game?
Well, it's even more important for them to cover this kick right here. And it's just interesting on how they decide to kick this off, because they've been kicking a little short, as I figured that would move Jace up a little bit, and it did.
Take the tempo back, boys.
So so we have Jace Worley back deep
Keep
is
it pretty strong. Let's
he
see
is.
it. Show what we're made
Now
of.
he's moving back a little bit. I think he still needs to move up. I guess he's kind of playing that game. Is make them figure out if you're going to be deep or short, and they're going to onside kick, and that is not going to make it. Wow.
I was going to ask if you onside. I don't think that an onside there is the right call. I think what you would like to see is something where it's not really a squib, but you kick it as hard as you possibly can, but keep it low and just mash it. And what you want to try to do, if you can't kick it out of the back of the end zone, which we haven't seen him kicking out of the back of the end zone, just mash it as hard as you can right up the middle. Try to maybe avoid a return, or at least let your team get down there, your coverage to get down there. If the ball's flopping around, make the recovery man hop on it instead of just being able to scoop it up and go, or catch it in the air and go. But I don't think that you just onside it like that.
Well, I ain't never seen that, because Gateway has taken over the ball, or taken over possession.
But the
with
Warriors
the ball.
have been here tonight, though.
Well, hold on. 3 yards behind where he kicked the ball out.
Remember, it went out of bounds.
I know, that's what I'm
penalty.
saying.
Yeah.
Like, that was not a very good executed call right there. You should probably know if your kicker can onside kick it or not, as Jason's going to go deep, as he's got Wiggly, and that's going to be it for a touchdown. So, Hayden Wiggly with his second touchdown of the night with 4 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And just like that, Gateway is now back to a 2-possession ball game. It is 18-6 is your score.
Yeah, that's great to see for the Warriors. I mean, they really needed that tonight, because like we've talked about, how important it is in this semifinal matchup to go up by 2 scores, whereas previously, I think if the Coyotes can get them within 1 score going into the fourth quarter, I hate to use the term moral victory, but that's almost a moral victory for the Coyotes, whereas now you just gave up that big play, which the Warriors have had a lot of tonight, and the Coyotes have an uphill battle.
All right, 2-point. I was going to say the 2-point PAT, but that's not. They're going to run the fake, and that's going to be caught. It looked like it was Jacoby. Nope, that was Elijah Perry. So Elijah Perry's going to pick up that up for the PAT. So 19-6 is the score here in the third, and we'll keep the action here because the quarter should be over shortly, maybe.
Yeah, granted, no big plays happen. You know what, Trey, I'd like to point out that's a huge distinction, I think, from what we've seen tonight between the Warriors and the Coyotes. The Warriors have routinely, and I use the term routinely, we've had several of these calls tonight, where the Warriors are able to get these chunk plays. And we just saw one of them there. And so they're able to move the ball quickly, score the ball quickly. Whereas if the Coyotes haven't had any of those chunk plays, they haven't had the offense sustain the drives like the Warriors have been able to consistently maintain. The Warriors have had a couple of hiccups in their offense, but overall, I think Coach Wiggly should be really happy with his offense tonight, but more so with his defense, which is a testament to the Coyotes' inability to sustain drives.
Right, and I just thought of something as Maddox is going with the little bouncing kick, and that is a free ball all bouncing all over the place, and that's going to be finally recovered there with 2 seconds to go on the clock. I just thought of something. And talking with Coach Wiggly before this game, I don't think he was really too much worried about, being able to get this game over with him on top. Now, you asked, okay, throwing the ball, is this something that he's putting on tape to have Melrose or Mountaineer say, oh, they want to throw the football?
It's not over yet, boys.
A little gamesmanship, as you will.
Can Gateway win a football game only throwing the football? Or can Mountaineer take away the run regardless, and it doesn't matter at that point?
Well, no, it doesn't. But I'm thinking, if you can get Mountaineer thinking that we want to throw the ball every play or a whole lot, and then all of a sudden your game plan, you come in and you run the ball 75% of the time. I'm thinking maybe that's a little something. Give them something, as they like to say, give them a little something to work on.
Yeah, to prepare for.
That you're probably not even going to do anyway.
I would say this. I think, we've seen a consistent play by the Warriors offense tonight. When they throw the football, it's been that post route, which has been there time and time again. That's what they've looked for. And so they haven't given, in terms of the passing game, they haven't given Mountain Air a lot of diversity to prepare for in the passing game. But it's a good general observation.
All right. We are now at the end of the third quarter. Gateway 19, Dora 6. We're going to take a 30-second timeout, come back here with the fourth quarter. You're listening to Gateway Football on the Gateway Roswell Sports Channel on YouTube and KBIM Radio.
Hi, I'm Adrian from George's Carpet and Tile at 216 West 2nd Street in Roswell. We've been here for quite some time and we love our customers. If you don't know us yet, we would love you to be our customer. If you're yet to visit, swing by and we will treat you well. Find your perfect forever floor with our superb service. We don't just do carpet and tile. Come see our wood, carpet squares, and luxury vinyl flooring too. Remember, we're George's Carpet and Tile at 216 West 2nd Street.
And we are back here. This is now the fourth quarter. The Warrior defense is out on the field. It is second down and... It is not 9. Second down and 6. We have two receivers to the far, one to the near. Side saddle is the running back to the right. Side saddle right running back. And the snap is back. He's going to half roll to the right. He's going to chunk that up. That's going to be, he almost... Oh, that's a good thing he really underthrew that. That's all I'm going to say there, Tim.
He underthrew it by 5 yards. Had he underthrown it by 3 or 2 yards, it would have been intercepted.
And they probably wouldn't have caught that kid running down either side.
Now, had he put the ball on the breadbasket, like you were saying, that would have been a touchdown all the way. He had him by a couple of steps. But for the Warriors, it's a great thing that ball was underthrown. For Dora, you could also say it was great that was underthrown to an extent. You avoid the interception. But
all right, same formation, 2 to the far, 1 to the near. Pistol formation there for the Coyotes. Snap is going to be back. He's going to pitch that over, and he's looking to run as he's going to throw that up for grabs, and that's going to be an incomplete pass, they say, as Nathaniel Wigley's saying he came up with it. I don't know, as we have a Coyote down on the field, as we are now got a timeout. So they're going to call timeout. We're going to take one too. 9:44 to go here in the fourth and final quarter here in the semifinal game. Gateway Warriors 19, Dora Coyotes 6. You're listening to Gateway Football on the Gateway Roswell Sports Channel on YouTube and KBIM Radio.
Hi, I'm Adrian from George's Carpet and Tile at 216 West 2nd Street in Roswell. We've been here for quite some time and we love our customers. If you don't know us yet, we would love you to be our customer. If you're yet to visit, swing by and we will treat you well. Find your perfect forever floor with our superb service. We don't just do carpet and tile. Come see our wood, carpet squares, and luxury vinyl flooring too. Remember, we're George's Carpet and Tile at 216 West 2nd Street.
Forest Tire cares about your time. You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you.
And we are back. It's now going to be fourth down, as we're going to figure, they're trying to figure out where to mark the football. And I think they finally got it. So it's going to be a 4th down and 6. And it looks to be like, well, I was going to say a punt formation, but it isn't. 2 receivers to the far. Split backs with, that looks to be Connor Rooney back deep. So you got to think here comes some kind of option. That's what they like to do out of this formation when he is back there. They're going to snap it back. They're going to pitch it to him. He's going to cut one way, then try to cut the other way, and he's finally going to be in the grasp there. I'm willing to bet you money that is Barton Perret. I don't even know, but that's probably who that is.
Yeah, well, first one up off the pile is Nathaniel Wigley, but I mean, there's a whole host of Warriors. I mean, I think it's impossible to specifically say which one it was at the pace of the play that play was going, but that's an entire swarm of Warriors, which we've got to ask tonight, Andre. The Warriors have defended outside exceptionally well. The Coyotes have got nothing, especially, they've got these 6-foot athletes. They've got some really, really great athletes, but they haven't been able to get outside at all. That's a credit to the Warriors defense, which has the speed. They are undersized, but they're very well coached by Coach Stevens. So that's a testament to how well the Warriors defense has defended outside.
All right, split backs in the backfield, tight formation. They're going to turn and they're going to run the swing route. Jace Worley, and he's going to be tackled down here out of bounds after picking up. Yeah, I don't know if he picked up any yards or these referees are a little slow on their marks.
Looks like he got about 4.
All right, but you know what I have noticed is these Dora Coyotes are a little slow getting up off the ground the later this game goes.
They look very, very, very tired. Which is a testament to the pace of play that Gateway has played. They've done a fantastic job. Gateway has dressed out quite a few kids tonight.
That's everybody in the school. No, I'm just kidding.
Looks about right.
It's kind of like Artesia. They're like, hey, you doing anything tonight?
Right.
Put this on.
Oh, you work out down at the corner store? Well, not tonight. Here's a number for you. Whereas if the Coyotes have only dressed out what looks to be about 10, 6 on the field and 4 on the sideline.
All right, as we have now got another timeout here by Dora, and we will take one with them. You are listening to Gateway Football on the Rousel Sports channel of YouTube and KBIM Radio.
There's a lot to love about fall. Fresh green chili, great morning coffee, cool evenings, watching the game, and streaming all the new shows with high-speed internet from PVT. That's why fall is the time to upgrade your internet speed with unlimited data from PVT to connect your home to everything you love. Call 575-748-1241 or visit pvt.com. Connect your home with PVT high-speed internet today.
Hi, I'm Adrian from George's Carpet and Tile at 216 West 2nd Street in Roswell. We've been here for quite some time and we love our customers. If you don't know us yet, we would love you to be our customer. If you're yet to visit, swing by and we will treat you well. Find your perfect forever floor with our superb service. We don't just do carpet and tile. Come see our wood, carpet squares, and luxury vinyl flooring too. Remember, we're George's Carpet and Tile at 216 West 2nd Street.
Here we go, boys!
All right, and we are back. The snap is going to be back, and he's going to hand that right up the middle to Jace Worley. And Jace Worley is going to be fairly close to the first down, and what they did there is what I said. They ran that same play to the other side and made Connor chase it.
Yeah, just like a quick hit. But that speaks a lot to the gravitational force defensively that Connor Rooney has been able to, the attention he's been able to garner on that left side of the defense. But tremendous coaching by Coach Wigley, tremendous play call. Like you had mentioned, Andre, get away from the best player on defense and just run it right at him. Less than 9 minutes to play. Warriors are up 19-6. So what's that? A difference of 13 points. And no, that's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Whew. I'm from Roswell. Hard to. Okay.
Go, Jace! Go, Jace!
All right, and it's going to be a toss sweep over to the left far side through Jace. What they're doing right there is they just want to pitch it out to Jace and just see if he can outrun him. And I love the game plan that they are in right now here, Tim.
You're talking about running the football.
Well, no, we're going to run away from you. I'm going to make you chase my fast guy to the left, then to the right, then, and we did this when I was at Goddard. El Dorado had about the biggest, baddest linebackers you've ever seen in your life, and we played them in a state game, and we ran option left, option right, option left, option right. Come the fourth quarter, they didn't want to see any kind of option.
And that's, I think, what we've seen out of Dora tonight, slow getting up sometimes.
Right, is going to try the quick handoff there to Barton once again, and that's going to be stopped there right as soon as he got the ball, and the ball did pop out late, but they said his forward progress was stopped, so that's going to be third down and goal from the 7-yard line.
The clock is ticking. Fourth quarter, Warriors have the ball. The Coyotes, their heels are on their own end zone. A touchdown here, I think, just about seals it away. But the Warriors got to finish. We've seen them tonight not finish one of these drives. Andre, this is the drive. If they finish, I think they're headed to the state championship.
Wing to the right, side saddle left is the running back. Wiggly with the pass. That's going to be up. That's going to be caught by, that is Elijah Perry. They're going to catch the touchdown pass from Nathaniel Wiggly. And that's going to push the score up to 25-6. Gateway on top.
I think the lead is just about insurmountable this time for the Coyotes, but I've been like the jinx master tonight. Nobody's been knocking on any wood every time I've said something. But I think the Warriors now have the momentum. They have this Coyote defense just about figured out more than they've had before. You know, they scored 12 points in the first half. They've scored already in a quarter and a half double that. +1, plus whatever's coming here on the PAT.
So snap is back. The kick is going to be blocked there, as that was a very high snap. A good job by Nathaniel to get that and try to get that onto the tee. Nonetheless, that's going to bring up 7:06 on the clock with the kickoff coming after the Gateway Warriors 25-6 after the Elijah Perry touchdown. You are listening to Gateway Football on the Gateway Roswell Sport channels on YouTube and KBIM Radio.
Forest Tire cares about your time. You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
Wendy's is hiring for all positions, including managers. Working for Wendy's allows flexible work schedules, full and part-time available, both AM and PM shifts. It's a great career path and perfect if you need the extra cash. It's easy to apply from your phone. Text the word HIRE to 71441. Text HIRE to 71441. Pay is up to $14 per hour, and for managers, salaries up to $65,000 per year. Apply from your phone. Text HIRE to 71441. Wendy's is an equal opportunity employer.
And a little squibber, and that's going to get by the man in the up back, and it's going to be fielded by the return man inside the 20 to the 19, as that one was almost dangerous there for Dora.
Yeah, great kick by the Warriors. They just kept it low to the ground, kicked it hard, made it one of those like weird bounce plays that, you know, if you're a shortstop, you never want to see when the ball hits the grass on the infield. And that's kind of the effect that it had. Got to have great hands. And at time it looked, it got away from the Coyotes, but they got it back.
And that's going to bring up a 1st and 15 here. 7:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. Dora is in the huddle. They haven't huddled very much this evening. They're going to send 2 receivers to the far, 1 to the near. And that is a pistol formation. More importantly, Connor is in the far set of twins, as that's going to be a false start here on this near receiver. As he flinched a little bit, the referee was not going to call that until Gateway started pointing at him.
A false start has been called.
Gateway had to petition and make a deal. But, you know, it was a little flinch, but it's technically against the rules.
I mean, it's still a false start, as they're going to go, and he's going to look to throw, and that's going to be popped up, and it's going to be caught for the interception. Well, that is going to be intercepted, as it took them about 3 days to go ahead and say that it was actually intercepted. That was I want to say Elijah Perry.
Now, look, the far side official's waving it off. The far side official, now we've gone 3.5 quarters without talking about the officials. So it's been bottled up inside of us, Andre. No, I think we've done really well tonight.
Well, I mean, and for the most part, the officials have done a good job. Okay.
The only comment I will make tonight about the officials was on that call, the far side official blows it incomplete. I didn't see him anywhere near the play, which maybe I missed something, even though don't get me started on that. But.
All right, 2 receivers to the far, 1 to the near, pistol formation here in the fourth quarter. Snap is back. It's going to be fumbled, and it's going to be fell upon by the quarterback, and that's going to lose more yardage inside the 10 to about the 8.
Why don't you go under center? We've seen the Coyotes tonight struggle snapping the football. At what point do you go under center, toss it right, toss it left to set up your pass play with an inability to snap the football, I should say. But it looks like they're still going to go back to snapping the football.
Well, I love it. Same formation here for the Coyotes. They're going to pitch that back, and he's going to he's down, but nonetheless, we're going to take that interception there by Jace Warrior, and he's got a whole lot of room, and he is going to go in for the pick 6, and that should not be a pick 6, but we will take it as we are the Gateway Warrior radio station. So, nonetheless, that's going to push the lead up to 31-6 here with 6:02 here in the fourth quarter.
And Andre, it was 12-0 at halftime. We were talking about what the Coyotes needed to do to not only get back in the game, but then get ahead in the game. But look at what the Warriors have done. They've responded with touchdown after touchdown after touchdown, unanswered in the second half, which just goes to show you the discipline of this Warrior team, how well coached they are. I mean, this second half has been a testament to Coach Wigley. It's been a testament to Coach Kermode, Coach Stevens. The entire coaching staff here at Gateway is on display with a fantastic second half.
All right, and that PAT snap's going to be wide and outside and all kind of things. Is Jace Ward is going to fall onto that, and that's not going to be that's not going to get any love over here by Coach Wigley, as you're just throwing points away, basically, is what you're doing. And nonetheless, it is 31-6 here on the campus of Gateway Christian School, as your Gateway Warriors up big over the Dora Coyotes.
So the Warriors are winning this second half 19-6. They've scored, my calculations are correct, 13 points unanswered, which, as we've mentioned, Andre, is just a testament to the Warriors' physicality throughout the game. It's a testament to their speed throughout the game, and it's displayed tonight on the football field. It's a testament to the mental fortitude that this team has, but I think it speaks much deeper to the winning culture Gateway has. If you take a trip through the gym, you can't take 2 steps without noticing the pride, the culture of winning in football that Gateway has. They've been a competitive football team, whether 6-man or 8-man, every single year that they played, as far as I can remember. And that culture takes effect in second halves of football games.
All right, Maddox Jennings on the kick, and he's going to kick it to the big man, and that might not be a very good idea. He's going to rumble forward up to the 39-yard line, so just short of midfield That is going
Keegan
to be
Rodriguez.
Keegan Rodriguez, the big center. I believe that's what he plays. He's been limping around. He got hurt there early in the first half, but he's toughed it out, and he's still in the ball game as he's limping up on the ball right now. So 5:56 to go here. 3 receivers to the near. And you have...
Come on, boys.
They're getting the play from the sideline, it looks like.
Yeah, they're getting the play. We got pistol formation. That back is really deep.
And at what point do you scoot up and go under center? I question, but...
Oh, that's got to be a false start. Nonetheless, they're going to hand it off to
Take him down. Wrap up.
Connor Rooney, and he's battling. He is still battling. I'll tell you what is, they might want to look at getting Rodriguez out, as he's not moving very well at all.
Once again, this speaks to the toughness of, we talked about the toughness of Gateway's program, and now to be in the semifinal game, though, the toughness of Dora's program. I think that's exhibited through Rodriguez, who's shaking up, but refuses to come off the football field.
All right, 3 receivers to the near, pistol formation. They're going to turn around, pitch that back once more, and that's going to be thrown, and that's going to be caught there as Jace thought that was going to be an overthrow. And it should have been for probably most people here in the six-man division.
Yeah, but not for Connor Rooney. He goes up with both hands or both paws, as we've been saying all night, and just brings it down. Now, I think for the Coyotes, this is the kind of drive we talked about that they needed. Just sustained several first downs, but I think it's too little too late. 5 minutes to go, down by several touchdowns. 19 points is what they're down by. I think it might be too little too late.
You're right. And they're going to hand that ball off with a straight dive to the fullback right up the middle, and he's going to pick up maybe 2 or 3 yards. But I wanted to say, I think this is the position really that Coach Wigley wanted to get in, to where he knew that Dora was big. He knew they were physical, but he had to figure out a way to get them down enough points to where they throw the ball. Then he can use his speed to rush the passer, maybe pick off some passes, get pick six, maybe, and if they're going to have to throw, he's going to look to take advantage of that. So split back formation, they're going to roll out, and he's going to throw that up. That's Rodriguez out there. He's going to make a diving effort, and he's going to just come up just short. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, now we've seen Rodriguez lay on the turf a little bit longer than what we've seen him lay on the turf all night. It looks like that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. He was running a post route, which for a guy that weighs about 250 pounds, we generally don't see him run post routes in high school. But he's running a post route, and he dives for it. Got to give the kid a tremendous A for effort there, a tremendous effort. But like we've been talking about, when you play the Warriors, just so quick, so physical, and with 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, we're starting to see this Coyote team be grinded down, which is a testament to the Warriors' toughness, physicality, and speed.
Well, and it is six-man football, as they are trying to get the attention of something. I don't know. He called a timeout for injury. I don't know what the.
Yeah, we're going to find out here. Coach Kermode's running up, letting us know what's going to happen.
Okay. Anyway, so as we are in the box, the handy dandy box.
I don't know what they right next to us here in the booth. They've got this like one of those boxes on Deal or No Deal, one of those suitcases.
Maybe he's getting the money out. All right, they're gonna run a rollout here, and he's gonna chunk that ball up, and that's gonna be intercepted there. Is that Elijah Perry, and it is. So Elijah Perry's going to get that interception in the end zone.
Great defense by the Warriors. Elijah Perry set back like he's a center fielder and waited for that ball to come to him. The ball's underthrown by the Coyotes. Elijah steps into it, and he took it away. That was an interception. And he was in the end zone when he caught it, so that's why they're marching out here to the 20. I got to say, too, this is a chance where the Warriors are switching and the Coyotes are switching. We're going from defense to offense, and I'm not noticing anybody new come on the field. Right. So for all 6 of these guys to play both ways, on both sides, on the Warrior side and the Coyote side, for them to play both ways throughout the game is remarkable of where they're at in terms of their conditioning.
Absolutely, and I think part of it has to do with injury, and they have Rodriguez out. Wigley was out for a little while, and that's going to be a toss sweep over here to Jace Worley. Now you have me talking like they're all Wigleys and Worleys. Too many W's. That's basically what that means.
And Perry, don't forget the Perry.
Now 2nd and 11 for the Warriors.
So the Warriors are going to be here at 2nd and 11. The clock is running 4 minutes and counting.
Yeah, well, it's 3:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. 2nd down and about 11. 31-6 is the score. Gateway's going left to right on your radio dial. Gateway is in the huddle. They are not in any hurry to run a play, as I think these referees give them a little longer than the 40 seconds. Still, I think they're like, we're not throwing a flag unless we have to. That's what I've noticed here in the 6-man game. But we will see as Coach Wiggly's going to call a timeout now. So 3:11 to go here in the fourth quarter. 31-6 is the score. Your Gateway Warriors on top of the Dora Coyotes. You're listening to Gateway Football on the Gateway Rousel Sports Channel on YouTube and KBIM Radio.
Forest Tire cares about your time. You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
Wendy's is hiring for all positions, including managers. Working for Wendy's allows flexible work schedules, full and part-time available, both AM and PM shifts. It's a great career path and perfect if you need the extra cash. It's easy to apply from your phone. Text the word HIRE to 71441. Text HIRE to 71441. Pay is up to $14 per hour, and for managers, salaries up to $65,000 per year. Apply from your phone.
All right, shotgun formation here. They're going to hand the ball off to Nathaniel Wiggly. He's going to run up the middle. He's going to be tackled there for probably no gain. So that's going to bring up a third down and 13, 14, oh, no, probably 12 or so to go.
For the Warriors.
The sense of urgency for the Warriors to score here to sustain a drive doesn't necessarily have to be there. And I know you would never hear Coach Wiggly say that, but up by 25 points, 20 something like that, the Warriors are content to slowly, surely take their time.
All right, that's a quick handoff there to Barton Perret. Perret's going to be wrangled down there
Boys, let's go.
For a loss, and that's going to be bring up a fourth down and about 14, 2:13 to go here on the clock, and that's probably going to bring up a punt situation.
Yeah, and if I recall, I don't think the Warriors have punted at all tonight. Have they punted once?
We had the 1 yard punt.
That's right. Yeah, we did. How could I forget that? But outside of that, you score 31 points in a football game. Generally, that's a testament to the offense. And the Warriors have scored a ton of points all season. They probably haven't practiced much punting, why would you?
As that punt was almost blocked there, but it did get off, and it's going to bounce a couple times, and that's going to be a block in the back.
Look at that.
Okay, he's got to call that from up here. From way up here, the referee standing right next to it, he's just like, yeah, I'm not throwing that flag.
Well, let me say this. He got him about back of the shoulder level.
What'd you say? The what of the shoulder?
It was about on the shirt seam, but it was, the hand was like kind of half and half, but kind of more on the back, but kind of, he had the other hand on the front.
Here's the thing. Okay, this is where I'm going to completely discredit your argument.
All right.
As a referee,
yeah,
he was already falling down.
The
tackler.
That's correct.
So for you to put your hands anywhere on him, you have to be.
Yeah.
Because he was falling on his face anyway. He didn't need to block him.
I agree with you.
And so therefore, for you to even put your hands on him, it has to be a block in the back.
Block in the back. Called on the Coyotes.
Yes.
1:35 to go here in the fourth quarter. 31-6. Your Gateway Warriors are on top of the Dora Coyotes. 3 receivers to the far. The pistol formation. It seems like that quarterback is getting farther and farther back as he's going to get the snap and he's looking to throw, and he's going to throw Rodriguez back in the game, and he's making some moves as he's going to be tripped up, and that's not going to be very good for that ankle there.
That was Barton Perot. It looked like on the tackle. He just came in like a heat-sinking missile there, came straight for the big guy's ankles, and we're about to be under a minute to play. The Warriors up 25. This is going to be a smooth 1 minute on track.
So
1:03 to go. 2 receivers to the far. We have a pistol formation we have split back formation. Option trick formation because Connor Rooney is in the of that formation. So the snap's going to be back, and they're going to run a toss, and he's going to throw, and that's going to be an incomplete pass there with 41.7 to go here on the clock.
Well, the Coyotes haven't been able tonight to find that rhythm. They haven't been able to find the tempo, and it's going to be so frustrating for the Coyotes, and especially for Coach Ferguson, to not be able to find that tempo and that rhythm. That's a testament, though, to how well the Gateway defense has played, and as they say, defense wins championships. That's why Gateway will be playing in the finals next week.
All right, 41 seconds to go, and they're going to run the quick screen over to the far sideline. And that's probably, and that is Connor Rooney. He's just running kids over now. I think he realized it's his senior season, his last game. He's like, I'm just going to get this ball, and I'm going to run real hard.
You know, you would have loved to have seen that from play one, but
and that's going to be up for grabs, and that's a good catch if he stayed out of inbounds, and he did not stay inbounds, and that's just a good effort there. I mean, you can't take anything away from this Connor Rooney. He has came and he's brought it every single play.
He's a fantastic athlete, and like we mentioned, I think with a good weight program, with a good regimen like that, I think he could definitely play at the next level. He's got that physique. He looks to have some of the coordination that's necessary. I think, you know, if he's in that environment, that 11-man environment, that very demanding environment with, like we talked about, the different advantages that come with that, I think he probably certainly could play at that level. But 12 seconds to go. I think Gateway's probably going to be in victory formation.
Turnover, well, I don't think they have enough people to actually get into victory formation.
The 6-man edition of victory formation.
Nonetheless, it is 12 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. You're going to get a knee here out of Gateway, as that's going to be snapped back, and it's going to be a knee taken, and that's going to push the Gateway Christian Warriors into the state championship game next week, where we believe it will be against Mountain Air, and Mountain Air does owe Gateway, so that should be here. So everybody, if you're in town, I'm assuming it will be on Saturday. And I'm not exactly sure how we're planning on handling the Roswell High and Goddard games for the next week, because they'll both be home. So whoever's farther, I guess, would play on Saturday.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
that sounds very reasonable. Or whoever, Roswell High's the higher seed, so I wonder if they get the seniority of
I don't believe
saying when we play.
I don't think the NMA cares about that. I think it's just going to be a matter of whoever's farther. If it's PV, I mean, not that it would be PV. If PV was coming, it would have to be on Saturday. And, you know, so I think Goddard plays the winner of Deming and Belen. So those are probably, 3 hours apiece? Well,
yeah,
no, Deming is 4 hours.
Deming has won that game 42-0. Deming and Belen.
So Deming's coming for 4 hours, and Roswell High plays the winner of, I know we talked about it, and I don't even remember now.
Gadsden and Los Alamos.
So if Gadsden wins, that's going to be about the same.
Yeah, So
I don't know how they're going to do that.
Here's a question. Does one team play maybe at 11 or maybe play at 1 and another team play at 6 so that you get them both on a Saturday? But that kind of almost defeats the purpose of, you know, the NMAA tries to get them to play early on Saturdays so as of not, you know, I've never I'm a Friday night kind of guy, you know, and tonight's a testament to that, Andre. You know, the people are bundled up. It's cold outside. By the time it's kickoff, the sun's down, the lights are on. I mean, this is good small town Friday night football. The hot chocolate and coffee's flowing. You don't get that on a Saturday. You know, it's a different environment on a Saturday that some people, traditionalists like myself, would argue Saturdays for college. You know what I'm saying?
Playoffs are for Saturdays.
Now, you're disagreeing with me.
Playoffs are for Saturdays. That's just my opinion.
That's your opinion.
But I think if Los Alamos, I don't know how they're going to do that. That's going to be a dogfight on how they pick and choose. I think both schools that win are going to be about the same distance away. So I think they might just say,
somebody's going to have to play at DeBrenham.
But nonetheless, so I'm sure Gateway's going to try to schedule that game around. I'd say we brought that conversation up because I believe Gateway will try to schedule their game around whoever's playing on Saturday local for the public high schools, Roswell High or Goddard, just so he can have more fan support and things of that nature.
Yeah, you would almost, I mean, if you're Coach Wiggly and Coach, let me just throw this out yet, just to have this conversation, I'll argue this position. Coach Wiggly and Coach Stevens going to go downtown, and they're going to tell the RISD administration, we've got a state championship game. What does it cost us to rent the Roll Bowl on a Saturday? And next thing we know, man, Roswell High and Goddard are going to be playing out here at Gateway into Brenham, man, But so then the Warriors won't have to worry about any of that because, they've got the state championship game. But I agree with you. I don't know logistically how they would work that because I don't know if there is a way to work around Roswell High and Goddard realistically.
You can't. If you offend one, I mean, as soon as...
Well,
both
of those schools and both sides of towns are a feeder to Gateway in a sense, and so what we also have seen is that Gateway has a great niche and they have a great community here with the little group that they have. As we said, this crowd, you could hear them. They were loud, they were rowdy, they were in the game all night long, and so Gateway has a really, really good little fan base here that's very, very loyal. That I think. Whether it's Roswell High or Goddard, whoever's playing across town at the Wool Bowl, I think these Gateway faithful will show up.
Well, no, I'm not saying that they wouldn't show up. I'm talking about just to get the other casual fan who just wants to watch Roswell sports teams play in a state, so now you can hit, somebody wants to hit all three games. I mean, and there's probably a lot of somebodies that want to hit all three games, so I'm trying to figure out how they could actually figure that out. So this game and the Saturday game for next week is not at the same time.
Yeah, maybe Gateway would have to. They're going to play Magdalena, which is, I guess, as far as Mountain Air. That's right. I was thinking about Mountain Air. As far as we're talking, Mountain Air would be the shortest distance, so maybe Mountain Air gets the late game.
That might be a Friday game too. So we'll see.
Maybe Mountain Air gets the late game, but I think you're right. I think it's. Gateway will have a very loud crowd for the state championship next week, and I think that Coach Wiggly, Coach Stevens, Coach Kermode, and this Gateway coaching staff are going to have them ready to go.
Oh, they will most definitely be ready to go for that. Well, nonetheless, that'll do it for us here on the campus of the Gateway Christian School. 31-6 is the score. Your Gateway Warriors on top of the Dora Coyotes, and they're going to take themselves into the state championship game here, the NMAA state championship game. So we will be back once we figure out when that game is going to be played. And everybody, y'all have a good night and a good weekend.
Wendy's is hiring for all positions, including managers. Working for Wendy's allows flexible work schedules, full and part-time available, both AM and PM shifts. It's a great career path and perfect if you need the extra cash. It's easy to apply from your phone. Text the word HIRE to 71441. Text HIRE to 71441. Pay is up to $14 per hour, and for managers, salaries up to $65,000 per year. Apply from your phone. Text HIRE to 71441. Wendy's is an equal opportunity employer.